Hey guys, my name is Vijay. I'm working as Senior Solution Consultant in Epicero. Uh, Today in this session, let us discuss about two Salesforce operations. One is update, the other is upset. Okay, yeah. So upset. First, let us discuss about upset. So what does upset mean? So upset means it is a combination of update as well as insert. So it's not a combo literally, but it decides actually whether to update or whether to insert a new record in the Salesforce object. Okay, so this is about upset. And about update, it is very clear that it will always try to update the record within an object in Salesforce. Okay, yeah. So now I have taken, let us try with upset operation. Okay, so if you see in the configuration, okay, yeah, before we go into this further, if you, if you're new to Salesforce or if you haven't gone through my previous session where I have discussed about how to create Salesforce developer account and also discussed few operations, so just go through this session. Okay, and you can continue with this session. That will be little easy for you to understand this, and also to how to create the Salesforce account, how to get the security token, and how to configure these things. I have discussed in the previous session. That is the first session on Salesforce MuleSoft integration. Okay, yeah. So let us talk about upset operation. Okay, so I have configured HTTP listener to get the payload. So I named the path as upset. Here I'm printing the a static content SF upset flow. And here this is where we are doing upset to the Salesforce. And this is where I am printing the response within the JSON format. Here application type is JSON, right? So I'm printing the response within JSON format. Okay, yeah. So in upset, as we discussed, this will do updates as well as insertions. But it all depends actually. So so object type is contact. So as in the last session we discussed about contact, right? So let's just continue discussing different operations on the same object. Okay, yeah. So object type is contact. So in this drop down I picked contact. Okay, yeah. So as soon as your Salesforce configuration is correct, okay, so it will load this drop down properly. You'll be able to see the list of things within the drop down. Yeah, and after this, you see here external ID field name. Okay, so based upon the object you choose, and based upon maybe let's say the configurations they would have done in Salesforce for this particular object. Okay, it is displaying two fields. One is email, the other is ID. Okay, so that means this as a unique reference or the, whatever we send as uh, email in the input payload, okay, that will be, this operation, what it does, it will correlate if there is any record present in the contact object or not with the same email ID configuration. Okay, if it is there, what it does, it will update the same record. If not, it will create new record. So that is how upset works. Okay, and you see here records is what we have and payload is by default it is payload. So whatever we will be passing, okay, so this you can copy paste within this section, but in real time that way it won't work, right? You have to always pass the records dynamically, right? Yeah. So that's why for the time being, just to demo this, okay, I have kept it as is. So here whatever we send, um, this payload will be, whatever we will be sending through this postman, okay, that will be considered as a payload, okay, within this record section, and that will be, whatever we will be mapping as a payload here. So that will be operated by this upset operation. So it will decide whether to update or insert. Okay, and also let us go through this thing. Yeah. So in the Salesforce documentation, it is very clear that, see, if the external ID is not matched, okay, so this is the external ID, right? So if external ID is not matched, then a new record is created according to the request body. Okay, if it is matched, okay, that means it will be updated. Yeah, for example, if you are going to send the same external ID multiple times or more than one time, so we'll be getting an error, right? Because it cannot judge whether to if you're sending two or three uh, same email addresses in three different records. Okay, so that means uh, there is some ambiguity right here. So that's why it will throw an error. Okay, yeah, it will not create or update those records. Yes. So yeah, so let us try to send this input. Okay, before that, let's try to observe what are the contacts. So I have cleaned up, and also what I did, I have filtered. Um, I mean, this interface where that email contains gmail.com. Okay, we'll be having default contacts, right? So just to skip those from viewing, I have made this setting so that I mean, we are not able to see anything in this interface. Okay, now let me send this. Before that, let's try to understand this concept. So for the same upset operation, I'll be sending this object. Okay, yeah, it is object, not array. Let us try to understand how it results. Okay, so let me click on send. Yeah, this is up and running. So let me try to send this request. See, 500 server error has come, right? So what it is saying, cannot coerce object. Okay, or else we'll see in the console. Yeah, if you see cannot coerce object, okay, to array. Okay, after evaluating that payload, it understood it as an object but not an array, right? So as we discussed in the previous session, every operation will expect an array of contents, okay, array of records, okay, or array of objects. Here you see it is records, right? So that means it will be expecting a list of objects or an array of objects. Okay, yeah. So that's why it has failed. Okay, so this is done. Let me close this. Now let us try to upset these two records. As we don't have any records with the same email addresses. Okay, let's assume that this is an employee info, for example, employee 1 and employee 2. Okay, let's try to upset these two. Okay, click on send. Email address invalid should contain. Okay, let me do one thing. I have been experimenting on adding the validation rules. So something has happened. Let me delete or inactive that validation rule. Okay, so any validation rule you write, you can only write on the object actually. Okay, on that particular object. So I have written something. So let me delete this for now. Yes, and also I did something in the triggers. Yeah, so let me delete these two. They're incomplete actually. So I have deleted both of them. Now you see here the response is false. Okay, so successful, if it is true, that means it would have been inserted or updated, but here it is false. And also yeah, here successful is false, so that means both of these records got failed. Okay, so let me clear this. If you check in this contact section, yeah, yeah, fine. it is, I mean, it is not the one which we have, I mean, which we have been trying to insert, right? Yeah. So let me now send this request once again. Yeah, now you could see the response as 200. Okay. Yeah. So what did we do? Upset, we have done upset. Yeah, correct. Now I'm copying this. Let me copy into a new notepad. You see here, just to identify, upset flow has been called. So just to identify that, I have put this static logger. Okay, static content. Yeah. Now this is the response we got from the Salesforce. Okay. So if you observe keenly, uh, I mean, it is the response for the two records actually. So whatever we have sent two records here, right? So it's a it's a response for both the objects actually from Salesforce upset operation. Okay. Now you see here, it is successful true and this is successful true. But at a high level, this is what does matter. Okay. So that means it has created these records because you see here there is a field called created. So it is true, and created it is true. So that means these two records got created newly in the Salesforce. It is upset. It can do update plus insert. So this time, as the emails are new emails, it has created the both the objects in Salesforce contacts object. Okay. If I click on this, let me click on all contacts. See, these two are the ones, right? We just have sent as an input. Email one at the rate of, sorry, employee one at the rate of gmail.com, employee two at the rate of gmail.com. Okay. So these are the two different contacts we have upsetted. So because these two emails, uh, I mean, any of the emails were not matching with the contacts that are already there in the contacts. Okay. So that's why it has created both these objects. For example, now I'm going to change these values. Okay, I'll keep employee one as is, but what I'll do, I'll put it as something like Vijay and I'll keep it as something like Kumar. Okay, now, yeah, employee one. So this email is, it is constant now. It is not changed, but the first name, last name, okay, these details were changed. Okay, so what it does, it will update these things because it will be able to find this particular email address within the Salesforce. Now, what I'll do, I'll put one more here. Okay, I'll keep something like MS and okay, nice. Yes. So whether you change these details or not doesn't matter. Whether you are changing the email or not does matter. Okay. So if it is a new email, it will create the record in contacts object. If it is an old email, it will try to update that record. Now this should be updated. Okay, first name and last name should be updated in the uh, in this entry, and one more new record should get created with MS Dhoni as the name. Okay, now let us try to, let me clear the console so that we can capture the fresh response. So I'm sending this request. 200 OK is the response. Now go to console, copy this. So first thing we can ignore, I'm deleting this, that straight away. Yeah, you see this is the response. Now you see we discussed, right, this will be updated and this will be created newly. Okay, now let us cross verify. So if you see here, within this items array, the first response in the the created fields value is false. So that means this particular value was not created but it was updated. Okay, but you see here for this, for the second record, okay, in within the payload, created value is true. Okay, so that is the reason, I mean, this we uh, we have all discussed that this should be created newly. So that is the reason we could see created as true here. Now let us verify in this thing. So let me refresh. So you can simply refresh here this thing. Yeah, now you see here. See, employee 1 got updated. That is what we discussed with Vijay Kumar, and employee 3 has been created newly. Okay, yeah. So this is all about upsert operation. So um, if it is there, I mean, if the email address is already there, okay, it will update it. If not, it will create new entry based upon the payload you'll be sending. Okay. Now let us try to send this um, email addresses, multiple email addresses with the same, yeah, like this, employee1 at the rate of gmail.com and employee1 at the rate of gmail.com. We have gone through this thing, right? So if the external ID is matched multiple times, okay, now let us see. So here, this is the external ID, and we have set it as employee1 and employee1 at the rate of gmail.com. Okay, now let me clear the console. This is the last scenario within upsert. So click on send. So we'll get 200, okay, but you see the response will be different. You see duplicate external ID specified. Okay, so this is the response for both the items. Duplicate external ID specified. Okay, yes. So you see there won't be any effect. Okay, within Salesforce. These will remain same. Okay, there is no change. It has neither created nor updated. Okay, yeah. So we are done with upsert operation. Okay, now let us discuss about update operation. So this is very simple. We have to we'll be always updating the existing records or record. So if you send one payload, it will be updated. If you send multiple payloads, they will be updated, right? Yeah. Now, um, yeah. So let me copy this, or else, yeah, fine. So let me copy this. I'll keep only one for now. Yeah. So if I copy this, now I'm going to keep something like I'll keep something like this. Yeah. Okay. So this is the first name and last name, and for this email is employee1 at the rate of gmail.com. But if you send this way simply, okay, this won't work because, okay, let us try to send this thing. It will throw an error. Okay. Yeah. So let me click on send. Let us see in the console. See, the response is successful is false. Okay. I'll tell you why. It has responded like this. You see here, ID not specified in the update call. Okay, what does ID mean here? Okay, so let me clear the console. So before that, let's verify here. So I'm going to click on refresh. There is nothing, no change has happened, right? Yeah. See here, still the employee one details are like with my name. Okay, it's not updated actually with this information. So let me clear the console, and you see ID not specified in an update call. This is the error, right? This is the message what we got. Let me clear this. So what does ID mean? So if you have observed or not, whenever you create an entry in any of the objects, okay, if I click this is the record ID or ID you can call. That means this value will be unique for all the objects, across the objects, for all the records or entries across the objects. It will be unique actually. Okay, let me copy this. For example, after this thing, okay, if I copy paste this, I'll be routed to the to this contact. For example, if I click accounts, we have one account with name this. Okay, so again for accounts also we'll have one record ID. I mean for this particular account. So if I remove this, it's not like I'm entering this value within accounts but across. Okay, now you see you will be automatically routed to accounts object, right? That's what my point is. Like wherever you insert in whatever the object you create, okay, so it will be having unique record, unique record ID across the objects. That is the point. Okay, so by the object or record ID, you'll be able to identify whether it is a contact or account or location or different, I mean, objects like leads or etc. Okay, now we have to send this as an input actually along with our request. Okay, yeah, so let me add that here. So id colon, you have to enclose this in quotes. Yeah, so now what it does, so as we are sending the request to the update operation, it has to correlate, right? So for example, in database we'll have something like where condition. Okay, if there is no where condition, it will update for all the records, right? But that way it cannot be done, or it is a mandatory here for update operation we need to have this id actually. Okay, so that means what it does, okay, it will check whether this id is there or not. If it is there, okay, it will successfully update that particular record. So let us try this. So um, yeah, so this is the contact, right, with this id. So here it is like my details are there. If I click on this send and update this, now you see this should be updated. Okay, in the console you see successful is true. Okay, and you see here you could see, right, id is ku, it is ending with ku triple a. See, ku triple a. Now if I refresh this, okay, let me copy this. Let's come from the back. Okay, so if I copy this, now you'll see that okay, let me refresh this. That is better, so that you'll understand that the same record got updated. Okay, you could see here, right? Or else if you copy this and paste it here, okay, so that means again the same thing we'll be getting. Okay, so it has overridden the previous contact uh, with these details. Okay, it has updated actually. Okay, if you go to the contacts and click on all contacts, I have filtered this way. This we have already discussed. Yeah, so you see here now, instead of my name for employee1 at the rate of gmail.com, you could see Muhammad Kaif's information. Okay, yeah, so this is about update, and we can test negative scenario as well. For example, I'm going to keep some uh, junk record value, let's say like this. It will be of 18 characters. Okay, anyway, let's click on send. See, now we got something like successful as false. Okay, you see id value of incorrect type. Okay, so the malformed id, so there is no id with the id whatever we have sent the request with. Okay, so this is all about update operation. Okay, and also about upset operation and how to identify the response, whether it is successfully upsetted or updated, or as we have discussed yesterday, whether it is successfully created or not. Yeah, so this is how we can identify these things. Yeah, so yeah, so that's it from my end for today's session. Please subscribe and share in your network. Thank you so much for listening to my video.